I want you to think about something for a second. You spend 8 hours a day, sometimes more, working for someone else. You follow their rules. You meet their deadlines. You sit through their mandatory meetings. And most of the time, you just assume that what they are asking you to do is legal. But here is the uncomfortable truth. A lot of what your employer does every single day is not legal, and they count on you not knowing that. I am Lexi, and on today's episode of Claws and Coin, I am going to walk you through 5 things your employer is legally not allowed to do to you. And I guarantee at least one of these is happening to you right now. Now, before we get into the list, I want to be clear about something. This is not about hating your employer. Most employers are not deliberately breaking the law, but the law is complex. Your rights as an employee are extensive, and the power imbalance between employer and employee means that most workers simply do not know what they are entitled to. Knowledge is protection. So let us get into it. Number 1. Your employer cannot legally stop you from discussing your salary with your coworkers. Let me say that again. It is completely illegal for your employer to punish you, fire you, demote you, discipline you for talking about how much money you make with the people you work with. This is protected under the National Labor Relations Act. And yet, how many times have you heard salaries are confidential? Or, we do not discuss compensation here? Companies put this in employee handbooks. They say it in onboarding meetings. They create a culture of secrecy around pay. All of it is designed to do one thing: stop you from finding out that your colleague doing the exact same job as you is being paid significantly more. Studies consistently show that pay secrecy costs the average worker thousands of dollars per year in lost negotiating power. And as of 2025, Massachusetts joined a growing list of states now requiring employers with 25 or more employees to actually disclose pay ranges to job applicants and existing employees. The law is moving toward transparency. Your employer knows this. Now, so do you. Number 2. In many states, your employer cannot legally enforce the non-compete agreement they asked you to sign. A non-compete clause is a contract that says when you leave this job, you cannot work for a competitor for a certain period of time. Sounds reasonable on paper, but here is what companies do not tell you. More than 30 states now have laws that either severely limit or completely ban non-compete agreements. In 2025 alone, Virginia and Wyoming became the latest states to restrict when these agreements can be enforced. And here is the critical part. Overly broad non-compete agreements do not just become unenforceable. In some states, your employer can actually face civil penalties for asking you to sign one in the first place. How many people have stayed in jobs they hate, turned down better opportunities, lost years of career growth because they were afraid of a non-compete that was never enforceable to begin with? Before you walk away from your dream job because of a non-compete clause, speak to an employment lawyer. Many offer free consultations. That piece of paper your employer gave you may mean absolutely nothing. Number 3. In a growing number of states, your employer cannot legally make you repay the cost of your training when you leave. This one is called a trapped at work provision, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Some employers include a clause in contracts saying if you leave within a certain period, 12 months, 18 months, sometimes 2 years, you must repay the cost of any training they provided you. The intention is clear. Create a financial penalty for leaving. Keep employees trapped in jobs they no longer want. But in late 2025, both California and New York passed laws specifically prohibiting this practice. Illinois, Maryland, Minnesota, and New Jersey introduced similar legislation in 2026. This movement is growing fast. If you have a training repayment clause in your employment contract right now, check your state's current laws before assuming you owe a single penny if you decide to leave. You may be completely free and not even know it. Number 4, and this one is brand new. As of 2026, in several states, your employer cannot legally use artificial intelligence to discriminate against you in the hiring process. Many companies now use AI systems to screen job applications before a human ever sees your resume. These systems look at your zip code, your school, your previous employers, your name, and they make decisions about whether you are a good fit. The problem? These AI systems can discriminate based on protected characteristics like race, gender, and age, completely unintentionally, and nobody even notices. Illinois amended its Human Rights Act effective January 2026, making it unlawful for employers to use AI that has the effect of discriminating against applicants based on protected classes. Several other states passed laws in 2026 requiring employers to disclose when AI is being used to screen applications. That means you have the right to know if a machine rejected you before a human even saw your name. If you applied for a job and never heard back, an AI system may have made that decision, and in a growing number of states, that is now something you can legally challenge. Number 5, and this one surprises people more than any other. In several states, your employer cannot legally force you to attend meetings designed to influence your views on your own rights. These are called captive audience meetings. Your company calls a mandatory all-hands meeting. HR comes in and explains why unionizing is bad for everyone, why discussing pay is harmful to team morale, why certain employee protections would hurt the business. You are required to attend. You are required to listen, and you feel you cannot push back without risking your job. As of 2026, multiple states have passed or are passing laws specifically prohibiting employers from forcing employees to attend these kinds of meetings. Your employer can share their views, but they cannot legally compel you to sit and listen to them undermine your own rights on company time. So let us end with 3 things you can do this week. Number 1, look up your state's pay transparency laws. Find out if your employer is required to share pay ranges with you. If they are, ask for them. Number 2, if you have a non-compete agreement or a training repayment clause in your employment contract, look up your state's current restrictions. What you signed may no longer be enforceable. Number 3, if you believe an employer used AI to screen your application unfairly or forced you to attend a meeting designed to suppress your rights, document it, keep records, and consult a free employment law clinic or legal aid service in your area. Your rights exist whether you know them or not, but they only protect you when you actually use them.
And this is where I come in, because everything Lexi just told you has a direct financial impact on your life. Let us talk numbers. Employees who openly discuss their salaries earn on average 8 to 10% more than those who stay silent. On a $50,000 salary, that is $4,000 to $5,000 per year, you could be leaving on the table simply because you do not talk about pay. Over a 10-year career, that is potentially $40,000 to $50,000 in lost income from silence. And non-compete agreements? The average person who stays in a job because of an unenforceable non-compete loses 15 to 20% in potential earnings compared to someone who moves freely between opportunities. Here is the bottom line. Your legal rights are not just about fairness. They are directly connected to how much money you make, how much wealth you build, and how financially free you become. Every right Lexi explained today has a dollar amount attached to it. Know your rights. Know your money. That is what Claws and Coin is here for.
On Claws and Coin, I cover the legal side.
I cover the money side. And together, we break down the things you were never taught, but absolutely needed to know. If this video gave you even one thing you did not know before, subscribe. Because next week, we are covering something that affects every single person who has ever owned a credit card. How credit card companies legally make you think you are winning, while quietly taking everything.
See you then.